Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have finally made it to the penultimate day of the 30-day movie challenge. Yes, baby! We've done it! We've made it! Yes! Ooh, that's smoking! Oh my god, there's actual smoke coming out of this. Jesus. I didn't think they would... That's an explosive there.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Movies and Milk 30-day film challenge, where in today's video myself and Michael will be discussing the films that make us cheer. These are the films that were just so satisfying that Michael and I could not contain our excitement. So to keep it short and to keep it snappy, in today's video I'm going to be talking about one of the most disappointing films of all time, but with a fantastic climax, The Dark Knight Rises. Yes, I do have two copies. This is your standard Blu-ray and that's the steelbook there. I do very much prefer the steelbook, however. The Dark Knight Rises is the third instalment in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and it follows Batman 8 years after the events of the Dark Knight, who has hung up the cape and the cowl, and is essentially avoiding all human contact. However, when the masked mercenary known as Bane rises from the ashes, Batman is systematically, I guess you could say, forced to return to the gloomy streets of Gotham and rid it of all its evil. I think in regards to the narrative, this is certainly the weakest of the trilogy. However, the climax to The Dark Knight Rises is among one of my favourite endings to a film of all time, which is naturally very disappointing, especially when the climax of a film proves to be far superior than the rest of the film. If you have seen The Dark Knight Rises for yourself, and I would imagine there would be quite a few of you that have, you probably absolutely know which sequence I'm talking about. When Batman helms the Batpod and we believe that he's going to sacrifice himself for the sake of Gotham City. It's not the Batpod at all, it's the Batwing. What am I talking about? As the nuclear bomb detonates, we believe that Batman / Bruce Wayne is a goner. He's absolutely out of here. A very emotional scene, a very powerful scene. And right at the very end of the film, it is revealed that the Batwing was in fact autopiloted, which translates to Bruce Wayne is still out there somewhere. Simultaneously, through a little montage, Christopher Nolan is renowned for having a wee montage towards the end of these films. We see an unveiling of the Batman statue. Bruce Wayne leaves Wayne Manor in his will to the children of Gotham City who are orphaned. It is also revealed that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, known as Blake throughout the majority of the film, is in fact legally named Robin.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin. Thanks.
Which just sent the audience in my theatre absolutely wild. And of course I was among that. Alfred takes his wee trip to Italy, he sees Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle sitting together, which is a callback to earlier in the film, where Alfred had a very intimate chat with Bruce Wayne, that one day when he takes one of these trips, he will look over at another table in the distance and see Bruce Wayne with a wife and a couple of kids. And to finish the film on what I believe to be one of the strongest points in superhero film history, Blake, or Robin, enters the Batcave, and it is naturally insinuated that Blake, or Robin if you will become the new protector and hero that Gotham deserves. Now, whether Blake is to become the new Batman, or Nightwing, or Robin, we do not know. It is completely placed into the audience's interpretation. That was a mouthful. It truly is a fantastic conclusion to a great franchise overall, although the film is slightly disappointing and definitely doesn't live up to the quality of its predecessors. The Dark Knight Rises is still very much an enjoyable film with a fantastic conclusion. I think I'd be confident in saying quite a few of you have seen the film, but if you haven't, as always, please check out The Dark Knight Rises. Off I get. I would just once again like to thank every single one of you for tuning in every single day during the month of June to watch these videos that myself and Michael do put quite a lot of effort into making, but more so to Mr. Michael McGorry, who does put quite a shift in with his editing. And also a massive shout out to the lovely Mr. Kris Ballantyne for the fantastic thumbnails. Well, anyway, it's back to Michael over in Irvine. Michael, take it away.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Now, before I go on to discuss my entry, I just want to issue a little spoiler warning for 1985's Back to the Future. If you've not seen Back to the Future... Excuse me? So yes, the one movie moment that always makes me want to cheer comes from Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd? It's Lloyd, isn't it? It's not Lee, it's not Christopher Lee. Yes, it's Christopher Lloyd, yes. I think a lot of people are going to assume that I'm going to be discussing the climax of the film, the scene where Marty actually goes back to the future. But no, it's not that scene, and it's not the scene at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance where George and Lorraine finally kiss. It's instead the scene that precedes all of those moments. And that's when George McFly finally faces up against his arch nemesis, Biff Tannen.
Hey, you, get your damn hands off. Oh.
We all know the scenario. I mean, we've all been there. Both George and Marty McFly conjure up a plan to try and get Lorraine to like George. Marty takes Lorraine, who is his mum by the way, to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. And the plan is for his father George to come in and disrupt the foreplay in order to get with Lorraine. But then of course the plan doesn't go to plan because, well, it's a movie. And instead the bully Biff Tannen interrupts Lorraine and Marty. Biff has his henchmen deal with Marty while he tries to make the moves on Lorraine. And when George comes to confront who he thinks is going to be Marty, he ends up being face to face with the film's protagonist. Again, we've all been in this situation before, don't act like you haven't. Biff threatens George to leave, but he instead decides to stand up for himself for once in his life and is like,
No, Biff. You leave her alone. Alright, McFly.
Biff then steps out of the car and George tries to punch him, which doesn't really go well for him at first. But then when Biff pushes Lorraine to the ground, George finally snaps. Biff begins to laugh maniacally, the music begins to swell, we get extreme close-ups of George's hand forming into a fist, and his pissed off face, and then when I can't take it anymore, George punches Biff in the face. Yes, mate, get in there, son! Up you, Biff, up you! Oh, that hurt my arm. It's the typical underdog story. Up until this point in the film, George McFly has pretty much just been a punching bag. But seeing him finally face up against the intimidating school bully, it is just so inspiring and is a moment that I think everyone can relate to. I think we've all wanted to be George in this situation at one point in our lives. And just seeing him finally follow through with it, it just... Oh, it's just an onslaught of emotions. Every time I watch this scene, I'm just like, right, I need to punch something. I need to let out this excitement that's building up within me. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comment section down below, what is that one movie moment that just makes you want to scream from the rooftops and cheer? And if you wish to take part in this 30-day movie challenge yourself, you can find the template over on the Movies and Milk Instagram page. Until next time, stay safe, don't do anything stupid, and we'll see you tomorrow for the final day of the 30-day movie challenge. Grab the tissues.